Why Meet the Others podcast? What's this about?
Why are we doing this thing?
Why are we doing this dang ding?
Who the F?
Do we even know what we're doing?
Certainly not.
Oh,
We
no.
just hooked this thing up tonight. We figured out how to use the mics, and now we're recording 10 seconds afterwards. Gives
Word
me
up.
comfort. So
I hear you.
yeah. So anyways, meet the others. That's us.
Still waiting on this car to come and take me home. Things feel a little different now that we grown. Till I turn the ass, sure they put my name in stone. Live how I wanna live, cause we die young.
Hey.
Yo, welcome.
What up, everybody?
Hey guys, it's Meet the Others podcast.
Back at it again.
Ooh, shoo.
I think one more episode before we hit the holidays, the Christmas, the New Year's.
Oh yeah.
Had
For
to get
sure.
it in.
Yes, we did. It's a special day today. But before we get into the special day today, I'm Anissa B.
And I'm Choir Boy Dank.
Welcome, guys, again to Meet the Others podcast.
Welcome.
If you guys don't follow us and you guys see these thumbnails, because this is all you're going to see so far
Right now.
maybe you guys should start actually subscribing. Hit the bell for notifications.
Ding.
Welcome, guys. What should we start with, hon?
I think today's a good day to have a good day.
Today is a good day to have a good day. That's something I say all the time to my son. Hooray.
Whoa, she's rapping everybody.
Stop. I'm in
Yo, slow down.
I read a lot of Dr. Seuss books, so sometimes I'm like rhyme, slime, time, frime, it gets crazy. Just stop.
Ooh,
Stop.
she goes hard.
So, what should we talk about first?
What should we talk about first? I don't know. It's a holiday season, special
is.
time.
Yes.
It's an amazing, happy time.
It is an amazing, happy time.
It's also a hard time.
It is a hard time as well. So I guess we're going to get into it and stop dancing around the topic. We're going to talk about grief during the holidays. Just a little smidgen, not too much. We're not going to get too dark and too deep in it. But some of us, unfortunately, about like 36% of Americans from last year, 2021, deal with some grief.
During the holidays?
During
or
the
just
holidays.
in general?
During the holidays, especially.
What do you think that is from?
I think that could be either loss of a loved one.
Yeah.
Loss of a job, loss of something that they're used to in their lives they no longer have. I think it can relate to so many things. But a lot of times I think mostly a lot of the grief during the holidays comes from empty chairs.
I got you.
Yeah.
And that could be for many reasons. I think some of that stuff is also because of interpersonal relationships that may not be where you want them to be also, right? Like,
yes.
And like things are not the way that you would wish or want to have them, right? So,
yeah.
So what are we talking about this? Where are we going?
I give you a little background. I am part of that 36%.
Yeah.
What
is the 36%? I guess I don't really understand what that means.
Out of just like there's 36% of Americans who struggle with even doing anything for the holidays.
Oh, I got you. Because I was getting ready to say, I feel like that's a low number, honestly.
It is a low number, which I'm grateful for.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out what it is because I don't know. I think that it's almost universal to have some sort of like feeling, at least during everyone's life at some point, to go, dang, grandma's not around anymore, or
right,
aunt insert name is not around anymore, and she really brought the juice, brought the pie, brought the cheer
together.
Brought the family together. Yeah, and that's another thing that happens, I think, a lot of times for holidays. You have certain people that once they stop being a part of that stuff, the holidays ain't the same. Things
Yes.
people don't come together the same way. Maybe things come up and you don't connect in the same way that you would have before or whatever.
Right.
So
Yeah.
but yeah, okay. So 36% are I think probably heavily dealing with grief and don't want to participate, right?
Yeah. And unfortunately, like I said, I'm one of those 36%.
No, I got you. Yeah.
Unfortunately, before you met me, my aunt passed away, and it was the day after Christmas.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, no matter what, it was very sudden. She was not sick. It was an accident, and she is no longer with my family, and she's kind of was the glue to the family and kept us all together.
Yeah.
And so yeah, like I struggled with that quite a bit when we met, and that was something that I definitely vocalized.
For sure.
And I think that the earlier generations, not that I'm like knocking anyone from the past generations, were able to, I feel like the past generations were able to kind of suck it up and keep it moving, where I think, or if they were suffering, they did a great job of covering it.
Yeah.
Because they were still able to move forward. But I feel like the millenniums and more of our generation are feeling a little bit more comfortable with the idea of saying, hey, I feel a little down because I'm grieving right now.
Huh.
I do feel that way.
Do you think that, I mean, because my initial thought about that is like, was the previous generations just tougher, or did they just bottle everything up, or like, because I think that those things are constant, right? No matter what. Or does social media play an aspect into it when you're watching everybody live these Hallmark lives?
Probably,
and,
yeah.
and then you get into this like.
Well, and also back in the days, you were taught to suck it up, buttercup, and let's keep going.
Yeah.
And nowadays it's like feelings, you're a little bit more allowed to like express your feelings and feel a certain way and all that stuff. So I think that that's why it's a little different for us. Not that we're soft. I don't think I'm a soft person, but I do have a heart, and it's pretty big. And
I think that there's balance and there's value in all of that, right?
Yeah. And loss sucks. And so, yeah. So I lost my aunt and the day after Christmas. And, recently, it's about 4 years or so, I lost my dad. And those are grieving situations that I am working towards getting better. And I will say this much, and I like to share this real quick. And I don't know if anyone else is kind of can relate to this. My aunt passed away in 2009. And I'll tell you something, in 2009, I went into a deep, dark depression for like literally 2 years. Can't remember all of it. That's how deep and dark it was. But with my dad, who passed in 2018, I was able to find an outlet.
Yeah.
And although, what was that? Well, for a while there, I was kind of struggling, and I would like literally wake up way too early just to watch the sun come up. And I started to like freak out because I was like, I'm starting to get into creep into that place. And I like looked up yoga. And I think that it's very important when someone is grieving to start to find love within themselves the most at that time. And also to remember like those loved ones who they lost would want them to.
Yeah.
Even if you're struggling, you know what I mean? Like, because we're going to like struggle through that, right? Like,
I think especially if you're struggling, right?
Yeah. And I was struggling quite a bit. You know it.
Yeah.
It was like, oof, ugly. It's not nice to look at. But I found the more I dig deeper into taking care of myself and loving myself and finding ways to not allow myself to get put like back into that darker place, like from when my aunt passed away, I was like also like healing somewhat, even though I still go through my waves of grieving still, no matter what, like the dates. I'm a date person. I will literally be like, yo, the day you looked at me and winked, like, it's like a whole thing. Like, I'm a little much when it comes to all that stuff. I can't kind of keep everything in my mental head.
Yeah, I'm a little less about that. But
Do you feel like you go through any grieving during the holidays? Like any, even if it's not like maybe with a loved one or like a certain tradition or anything like that that you used to do that you don't no longer do?
I just think that there's, well, you know, it's with my family, there's a lot of doing a lot of different things to like make those memories and have those traditions and things like that. Right. So like, yeah, it's hard when they're like, both my grandmas have passed, and they were both like really the charge to do a lot of those things, and the reason why we still do those things, to remember them. And yeah, it's different, you know, when I don't know, some of it's like, is it because I was a kid and things seem different? But yeah, as soon as like both my grandmas kind of left the picture during the holidays, things are just very different.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I tried to not put it in like a grieving context, because I feel like once I go in that space, it's not healthy all the time.
For sure not.
And, you know, a piece of me is still kind of that old school mindset of, you know, I mean, my dad is definitely a big proponent, or, you know, torchbearer of the suck it up buttercup camp. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, I got that in me.
Right.
And I feel like if I dive too deep into that stuff, I'm going to lose my way a bit.
Right. Yeah.
And so, you know, what I try to do is just do those things that they would want me to do. Kind of like what you were saying.
Yeah.
Is just keep going and remember them in all the positive and amazing ways that we did have them. And I think that that's what's valuable for these type of ideas and moments, is like to know that you had, the reason why you feel that way is because you had so many good times.
Right.
Because you did have time. And, you know, you always say, oh, I wish I had one more day, but you had so many amazing days. You know what I mean? And I think to focus on that is really where I would like to be able to be at.
You're a lot luckier than I am. I'm over here getting teared up, and I'm not even trying to. Like, I'm like, why am I tearing up? I promised myself I wouldn't do this. But here's the thing. If you are grieving, can't nobody tell you how to grieve.
Real.
At the end of the
100%.
day. You are allowed to cry, and you are allowed to grieve as much as you want, because I am fine. I am perfectly fine. But just talking about like the memories, I start to like live in them again. And it's like, whew. So, yeah. Whoops. I promised myself I wouldn't do that. But it gets a little weird and wonky in my brain and my mind.
Yeah, and I think that's why we wanted to talk about it.
Yeah, because it's like definitely.
Because I don't think you're alone in that feeling. No. I mean, I know you're not, you know, yeah. I mean.
Like once Thanksgiving comes, something happens to I'm finding my birthday comes, the summertime comes, I'm like rocking it. I might have a, slip up because my father passed away in July, but then it goes away and I'm rocking it. And then once Thanksgiving hits, there's this weird griever monster that comes out from under the bed and is like, lay your ass down. It's time to start like feeling sorrow. And it's just because, like, honestly speaking, I lost two people in my life that were very monumental, a huge part of who I am, and helped raise me, and also part of my very close to my heart. So
yeah,
that's why sometimes it's hard to just like completely let it go and be like, yeah, it's just, one of those things. But what I will say is that meeting you, when I met you during my favorite holiday, Halloween, and us communicating before, like, as we were like kind of like, I guess, dating or just chatting, I learned a lot about you and reasons why I should be happy in the month of December.
Yes.
Today's his birthday. So today's Wednesday. He is a winter solstice stud.
Hey, I like that.
I was gonna say baby, and I was like, "Yo, that sounds like a babe." Nah.
Well, you got the alliteration, the solstice stud. I
Yeah.
like it. So,
Yeah.
Happy
So,
birthday to me.
Yes, happy birthday. And honestly speaking, like, it took a lot for him to dig me out of the most deepest, like, depression of like grief with my aunt. And then as soon as I was finally getting to a good place and realizing what I had in front of me was like amazing and I was blessed, I was then hit again with some more, and it was just like an add-on. But honestly, it being that your birthday's in December, so I can't be sad that much in December. It kind of has helped me build up a little bit of that, like, suck it up, buttercup, but I will cry when I feel like kind of attitude.
Yeah.
No,
I hear you.
Because it's still gonna happen.
I just really had a chip on my shoulder. I mean, you just got to be happy during my season I mean, I always really like Christmas. I mean, because it is my birthday, and I don't know, like, I don't know. I do have so many good memories, but so I'm not gonna let you ruin that for me.
Right.
So it's all good.
So we wanted to kind of have that conversation because a lot of people are grieving right now, though.
Yeah, and do we have any sort of like sites or resources that can kind of like help build people up during this time? Is there anything that we know of that? Because I mean, you're better.
I'm like, what? First off,
we'll find some resources because she's great at it, and we'll put it in the description.
Honestly, for me, it's like really digging deep. I definitely think that if someone is going through a lot of grieving at this very moment, it is very important to seek some help, some counseling. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, always seek counseling when you feel like you're losing control to the point where like you're like beyond out of control. Well, try not to get that far, but like once you feel like you need to talk to somebody that's not like someone who would say suck it up, buttercup, or just someone that will listen. Yeah. I think that's very important. I think it's very important to, like I said, I chose yoga. I typed up sunrise because my father reminds me of the sun. My aunt reminds me of the moon. So like I have all these like weird like significance to those times a day. And I just typed in sunrise and then I put yoga because at that time period when after my father passed, like my mind was starting to like get a little weird and I needed meditation. Yeah. I needed to like dig deep into myself and be like, oh my goodness, like calm down, breathe. And you know, I went and did that and it took a lot before I can honestly say that I haven't overcome grief. So like, but I'm living with it in a lot of a better way. Yeah. Even if sometimes I might like, you know, go on a rampage. If you follow me on Instagram on Anissa B Strong, you might see, or Facebook even. Sometimes I go a little bit like, you know, off the charts with grief because I just want other people to know that it's okay. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with grieving. Just try to find self-love and self-care within that time, because sometimes our minds can get very clouded. Yeah. With the thought of losing someone or losing something and feeling like that defines your whole entire being. And then you end up getting into a deeper, darker depression. Because I'll tell you, in 2009, I really can't remember after she passed away. I don't remember a lot of things. Like, I allowed a lot of things to happen to me in my situation, in my relationship. I was like a lost cause. So, but looking fast forward, I've learned to like appreciate a lot of things in front of me and also continue to like live in their legacy, you know, like live for them move on. I don't know. Like, it's always hard to say move on. I always feel like so bad about it. I hate that I feel bad about moving on because I struggle with that.
I think it's just semantics. I think it's not. It's moving on makes it seem like that stuff's in the past or whatever, and you're not honoring the legacy, and you're not honoring the memory, and you're not honoring, the people that you miss. And
Right.
I think that you're not moving on from those things. You're moving on from the negative feelings that you're holding on to. You're moving on to that, past that.
Yeah, that's what I'm moving on to. That's true. Yeah, for sure. Sure. Yeah. I think that's a good valid point to put that into perspective. You never said that to me until now.
Well, hey.
I needed that, man. Where have you been? Shoo. We're going to have a conversation off this camera. No, yeah. But moving off this heavy topic, and like I said, always seek help. Always find self-care to try to keep your mind off of some of this. Talk about those people you lost to other people. Let people know who you loved and who loved you and who left an impression in your heart, even though they're no longer here. Because I can guarantee that there's probably everybody that has came across me knows my aunt, knows my dad, and probably thinks they know them way too well. It's like, sometimes it makes me laugh when I think of that. Like, because I'm like, well, they're still living on.
Yeah.
They're probably pissed at me like, gosh, I can never sleep. But I'm probably never going to do that until I go to sleep. So, but I want to move off of this because I don't want it to be so heavy.
Yep.
I want to talk about your birthday, talk about things, and talk about how you feel from last recording last week, and where do you feel like you're headed, and what's going on, and how are we moving forward, and what are we doing for this holiday for our family? What's going on?
Well, yeah, no, I think that there's a lot of positive things happening. We're getting ready to kind of like step into some big things with some management. I'm not going to talk too much about it, but I think that I'm super, super excited about that. I'm super excited about building with my future modern community.
Yes.
And really, I think that we're going to step in, and they're going to be players stepping alongside us with this podcast and taking it to the next level. So super excited about that. And also the idea of, in that same stroke, is bringing on new guests.
Yes.
Talking to new people that come around, that bring people live onto the show.
Yes.
Interviewing some people that may not be here physically, but bringing them on. And we've been doing a decent amount of research on just like how we're going to promote guests on here, how we're going to start formatting this thing again.
Yeah.
Taking it to the next level, and that's really what we're on. We got the new sign.
Love this thing.
That's dope as hell. And we're just gonna continually keep stepping it up. Maybe add some cameras, make it a little interesting.
Ooh.
And and start bringing some more juice to the podcast. So I'm super excited about that.
Yes, and I'll tell you something. There's a light at the end of the tunnel, right? Because I feel like last week we were kind of like in a weird place and stuff. And although the light is pretty far, and we have a lot of walking and adventures to do throughout that tunnel.
Yeah.
What I will say is that so many people within our family has stepped up.
Yeah.
So many of our friends that I've never expected to step up has stepped up. There has been so many creatives that see our potential who has stepped up.
Yeah.
And I truly appreciate it. It almost like it softens my heart even more of the idea that like we're not alone during this season.
Yeah.
I mean,
real talk.
So that's like super cool because honestly speaking, I felt like we were a little hopeless last week, and I did not know what to do. And not that we're gonna be in a fully comfortable situation, but with the amount of support that we've gotten since last week, I'm truly like grateful. And I feel
100%.
like, I swear, like I'll be like, oh shoot, like I feel a little bit more in the holiday spirit because I'm believing that there's actual people who love us and care for us and want to see us win, and no matter what that looks like. And I think that's the most dopest, most coolest thing in the world, like to know that. So
yeah, it's gonna be all good, man. And I'm looking forward to just building. I'm looking forward to make this thing such an amazing story, right? And that's really like what makes me excited, that we got a lot of fight in us, and we're gonna put that fight and that journey, up. We're gonna upload it, and we're gonna live stream it, and it's gonna be, it's gonna be a testament to the community that we have, and the faith that we have, and the hard work that we're gonna put in.
For sure.
So I'm excited about the future, and even though I have no idea what that looks like, really. So it's dope, I
mean, don't be too afraid of the unknown, I guess, right?
Yeah.
No, it's good. It's good. We have faith and we believe in ourselves. And we also, we know that there's like I said before, when one door closes, another opens, and God takes away things in our lives that were never meant to be there in the first place.
Real talk.
And 100%. I am realizing that more and more and more. And it's something to embrace, even if you feel like tearing up, because I don't even know why this is happening. I think my eyeballs just dry or something. But yeah, it's one of those things that like you got to just kind of take it in and steer the boat. Don't let the boat go crazy and nothing like that. But like allow some of those waves to kind of like glide that boat, that ship, because we're done with the mountain. No, we're not. We're not done. I was gonna say we're done moving the mountain, but the mountain is not moved yet.
I don't know where you're going with this metaphor. I'm kind of lost. But whatever. Lost in the sauce.
Listen, it is what it is. Dr. Seuss, sometimes I go into the weirdo place.
So I think, just to wrap this up, I think that what we should do is talk about some of the cool things that we like to do for Christmas, since we're not going to be able to kind of do this before we get there.
Very true.
Right? Let's talk about some of the dope things that we like to do for Christmas and New Year's. What's some traditions that you love, that you don't want to miss out, that you are looking forward to?
I love cooking. I just love to have like my Hispanic, like my Puerto Rican meal, like my arroz gandules, pernil, pasteles, ham. I like to have that time of like laughter and chaos and all that stuff in the kitchen and with family. I mean, not all my family are here. They're back at home, but it's always cool because lately we've been doing a lot of FaceTiming. So thank God for technology.
Heck yeah.
Because I'm able to see my mother, and, my mom's a little sick right now. And so like that doesn't help. And I'd love to see her. But it's always good that I can see her on FaceTime and, like through Facebook Messenger, WhatsApp, whatever. And I can kind of get together and still hear some of that chaos, because we are the family. We are Puerto Ricans and Italians and Black. And we all come together in a room and we start talking all over each other. And one of the first times he ever came to like our Christmases, he was like, wow. Because it was like,
you can't get a word in. There's no time. You gotta talk over everybody.
Yes.
Because that's what everybody's doing already.
Yes. And then as far as like New Year's, my best friend's birthday is on New Year's Day. So we always I would stay with my family. And even though I lived in New York and I was not too far from Times Square, we didn't really go there that much because the crowd is ridiculous. Like, it's like, oh, it doesn't even make sense. I'm going to be cold. I'm going to be all, we all dress up in our cute little short dresses, glittery stuff, looking like the damn ball. But I always spent New Year's Eve with my family again, and we kind of like celebrate and have like our little pregame at home, get coquito, and we have champagne. And once that ball drops, though, everybody's out. Kids are with grandma, and everybody scatters to wherever the heck they're going. And I also enjoy those were our times. Like, we didn't do anything spectacular, but we spent a lot of time together.
Yeah.
Even if we were like mad at each other, we all just were in the same place. It was like crazy. And sometimes fights broke out, and it was like, whoa, you've seen those too.
Real.
So, but what about you?
Yeah, I don't know. I just like, I guess we have this Christmas tradition that ever since I was a little kid, we would do like waffles with whipped cream and strawberries. And that was like, I don't know. For me, it's like, that's just like waking up, you go see what type of gifts you got.
Right.
And then before you do the gifts, you have a little breakfast. And then after that, everybody comes together, sits around in a circle, and opens up all the little stuff that they got for each other. And, just being around the family, shooting jokes at each other, like little, like, oh, you got this, or, my mom always likes to do like these funny, like she'll buy hats or like weird costumes and like just
matching.
Yeah, so like she'll buy like everybody like a weird like reindeer outfit or hat, and everybody like wears it. Then we make jokes about each other and take pictures, like just doing like little stuff like that is fun, and just being around my family. So that I look forward to doing that stuff. And I guess for New Year's was never really a big like family thing for us.
Oh no.
No, it was more just like, I mean, there was a couple years that we would hang out as a family and kind of celebrate a little bit. But I think that my family is, it's too late to be doing all that.
Yeah.
They're out a little earlier. So I'll tell you, I've definitely adopted the coquito tradition for my celebration.
Yes.
So I look forward to that. So, but yeah, I don't know. I think that I'm looking forward to the good times and hanging out with family and hanging out with friends and seeing everybody. So
yes,
we probably won't see you again, guys. So
no, probably until possibly maybe before the new year. Maybe not, though.
Yeah, maybe not.
We might see you guys next year, but we wanted to come on real quick and kind of just reach out to anyone who might be grieving during these holidays. And we know it's not easy, trust and believe, especially one of the half of Meet the Others podcast for sure. But with that being said, as from one griever to another, make sure you take care of yourself, whatever that looks like. If it means seeing a counselor, going to yoga, going on a spa time, writing in a journal, doing things like that, like all those things are very helpful. So I always give out that type of, hey, this is what I've done. I'm not professional, but I'm professionally going through it in my own head. So, but yeah, we wanted to just come on here and just kind of chat. And also, Choir Boy Dink, it's your birthday and it's something to celebrate, and we need to be happy because it's your birthday. We should be like, go shorty, it's your birthday. We're gonna party like it's your birthday. All right, I'm not gonna say more.
Well, yeah, and I'm gonna go out, have a good time with my brother tonight. It's gonna be good. And So drive safe.
Yes.
Tell your loved ones you love them.
Always treasure every moment.
Yep. Take care of yourself. Take care of your family. Take care of your friends.
Yes. And if you guys like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Like it. Leave a comment, whatever you want to hear. You know, we want to dig deep. You know, we're
let us know anything that you want us to touch on, talk about. We got there's a lot of things. We're going to be coming at you a little bit more frequently. So we'll be talking about a lot of different things.
Yes.
You know,
Yes. And follow us on our social medias on Facebook, Anissa B Strong, Choir Boy Dank, Instagram, Choir Boy Dank, Anissa B Strong, Meet the Others podcast on Facebook, Instagram, all that good stuff. We're everywhere where you see these two characters.
That's us.
That's us. We the characters. So happy holidays, guys, from Meet the Others podcast to your family, right? Think we're 100%. Done here. Merry Christmas, guys.
Love you guys.
Bye. Why Meet the Others podcast? What's this about?
Why are we doing this thing?
Why are we doing this dang thing?
Who the F?
Do we even know what we're doing?
Certainly not.
Oh,
we just hooked this thing up tonight. We figured out how to use the mics, and now we're recording 10 seconds afterwards.
Word up. So I hear you.
Yeah. So anyways, Meet the Others. That's us.
Still waiting on this car to come and take me home. Things feel a little different now that we grown. Till I turn the ass, so they put my name in stone. Live how I wanna live, cause we die alone.